here on WPSL 1590. Also streaming live over to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we do have the live streams going over there, so you can actually take a part in that and listen and watch as well. So one of the things that I did want to just bring your attention to, this past week, Microsoft did release security patches. They're Patch Tuesday, and not only did Microsoft do this, but Adobe did it, and there are several other entities as well. And so one of the things that we want to just let you know about, we want to let you know about those, and we have a video. We have in the past recorded a video on that during this show, but to get the information out more quickly to you and to all the YouTube viewers, we have been starting to record that session midweek and actually posting it to YouTube. So it is on YouTube right now. It's actually not live. It is scheduled to be published later today. But you can watch it if you go to our YouTube test channel, or our YouTube channel, and go to our test playlist. You can actually watch that, and later today that will be up there. 138 cybersecurity threats from Microsoft. Now, one of the things I did want to just go over here a little bit, because we do see this quite often when Microsoft releases Windows updates. Some computers will reboot after installing the Windows updates. In fact, all the computers, the only way you can fully install the updates, there is some talk about Microsoft potentially changing this. But for now, the way they have done the updates, part of the update is installed while you're in Windows. Part of it, the next part of it is installed as the computer shuts down, and then the remainder is installed as the computer boots back up into Windows. So then what happens though periodically is there's something on computers, on a lot of modern day computers, called BitLocker. And BitLocker is actually there to protect you, but when there's a major change, Microsoft doesn't know whether that's your computer that it's booting off of or another computer, and the BitLocker will actually lock up, and you'll go to a BitLocker recovery screen. It's a blue screen asking you to enter your BitLocker key. So we'll take just a little bit of time here this morning just to review. For some of you, it'll be review. For some others, it won't be. In fact, we get calls, and we got calls this past week from people that were at the BitLocker recovery screen, had no idea what BitLocker was. So here's what BitLocker is. It's hard drive encryption from Microsoft. And it's actually good. It's actually there to protect you. It's actually there to keep your computer safe. And what it does is it actually goes in and encrypts the data on your drive. How this protects you is that if your drive is removed from your computer and connected to another computer, whoever connected it won't be able to view the data, your data, without the BitLocker key. Also, if someone, let's say, doesn't know your password and they have a USB key, I have various USB keys in my pocket here, and one of those actually goes ahead and will actually, probably not the one I'm pulling out, but I'm pulling this out and showing it on the screen. This is just a USB key, but I have one of these that actually will reset passwords. And so sometimes people forget their password, don't know what it is. We can actually reset their password unless they have BitLocker enabled. If they have BitLocker enabled, we can only reset the password if we have actually the BitLocker key. And so when your computer has a major change, and sometimes Windows updates will do this, particularly if there's a BIOS update or another update that really affects your computer in a major way, your computer will say, hey, we're not quite sure whether this is legitimate or not, whether this is your computer or not. We want to verify and make sure that you are you, basically. They want to make sure that you are authorized to use the computer. So they ask for the BitLocker key. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because some people don't know even what BitLocker is, much less what their BitLocker key is. And we've seen a lot of computers coming from the factory, HP, Dell, Lenovo, with BitLocker enabled from the factory. When you enable it yourself, if you enable it yourself, Microsoft actually shows you the key and gives you, in fact, not only gives you the opportunity, but requires you to record that. Now, you can record it by printing it. You can record it by saving it to a drive. It has to be a drive other than the one that is being encrypted with that BitLocker key. And so you can actually save that BitLocker key, though. But if it comes from the factory, then you don't have that opportunity. And what happens is you get this computer and it has this BitLocker key. A lot of people don't have no idea what BitLocker is, or much less what their BitLocker key is. Now, there's a few ways that you can find your BitLocker key if you need it. And there's a good chance that you'll come into a situation where you do need it. I even had it come up on my computer once. And when I did, my battery was low and the computer was like, hey, we're not quite sure what's happening here. So the computer was in an odd state. I've only had it happen one time. And in that case, I plugged in the power adapter, which, you know what, I forgot to plug in my power adapter, so I'll do that right now. But anyway, I was able to reboot with the power adapter, and it functioned as it normally does, and the computer Microsoft realized, hey, this is him, this is his computer, same computer, so we don't need to ask for the BitLocker key. But, I would have had it anyway. So here's the thing. Most computers, it's very difficult to get into Windows today, a new computer, without a Microsoft account. If you have a Microsoft account, your BitLocker key is actually stored in your Microsoft account in most cases. So, as long as you've been using that Microsoft account on that computer, then your BitLocker key will be there. So you need to go probably to another computer and log in with your Microsoft account, username and password. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people have no idea what their username and password is. In fact, we've even had customers that don't like the idea that Microsoft's asking them for their email address, so they'll give Microsoft a fake email address. And they will set this up, and they have no clue what the email address is, no access to it, and no clue what they put for the password. That's really a bad situation. But if you do know the username and password, you can log in, you go to devices. In fact, there's even a link on the BitLocker recovery screen. You go right to that URL, log in, and you'll see your BitLocker. You'll be able to see your BitLocker key. The other thing that you can do with this is that you can actually, if you have had a faster PC work on your computer, and we have installed our remote support software on your computer. Our remote support software does capture BitLocker keys, and this week we actually had a customer that called up at the BitLocker recovery screen, and we were able to get them up into their computer, fully running, fully restored, fully functional within minutes. Because we had their BitLocker key restored. So if you need help with that, give us a call, 772-878-5978. You're listening to a Faster PC radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour, right here on this station, and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090, 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for a Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes, or you just go to our website, afasterpc.com, click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. Hackers are constantly looking for ways to break into your computer and network to access your data and hold it hostage. Think this can't happen to you? Think again. Hackers regularly target small businesses. A Faster PC has produced a cybersecurity crisis report that goes over urgent and critical protections every small business must have in place now to protect their bank accounts, client data, confidential information, and reputation from the tsunami of cybercrime. To access this report, give us a call at 772-878-5978 or download the report today at
www.afasterpc.com.
That's www.afasterpc.com. Cybersecurity problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie, next to Dollar General.
To access this report, give us a call at 772-878-5978 or download the report today at afasterpc.com.
You need a Faster PC.
772-878-5978. Microsoft's end of support for Windows 10 is here, and if you continue to use Windows 10, your computer will be increasingly susceptible to security vulnerabilities. A Faster PC can upgrade most computers to Windows 11, even if Microsoft has told you that your computer doesn't support Windows 11, and we can even do so remotely without you needing to leave your work or home. Don't be a sitting duck for hackers. Let a Faster PC upgrade your computer today. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
When you need to protect your computer from hackers,
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie, next to Dollar General.
and on the web at
www.afasterpc.com.
that's www.afasterpc.com. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
www.afasterpc.com. 772-878-5978. Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio. This is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page, or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. So you can give us a call here, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. If you have any computer questions, you want to be a part of this, you can be a part of this show. You can actually get your computer questions answered. Maybe you have a cybersecurity question, or maybe there's a show you want to watch, something that you want to watch that you don't know how to watch. That's one of the things that we go over here on a Faster PC. Live technical support. And so we're actually going to be showing you and going over how to do this, how to watch various content without cable TV. And we do this. We last week we went over how to watch the WNBA games without cable TV. We went over that on the show. We don't have that video rolled out yet for a standalone video, but we will soon, and you'll be able to actually watch that standalone on YouTube as well. We do currently have how to watch the NBA playoffs, how to watch professional baseball without cable TV. And so, if there's anything out there, maybe you say, hey, you know what, I'm not into the NBA. I'm not in, we go over how to watch the NFL, how to watch, various content without cable TV. And maybe you're not into some of what we've gone over, and that's okay. We're trying to go over, I don't watch some of the things, we've gone over how to watch, and we have videos out there, how to watch NASCAR races, how to watch professional bowling without cable TV. And you may not care about some of this, but some of it you do care about. And if there's something that you want to watch without cable TV, we want to help you with that. And we want to help you if you need any help with cutting the cord. We want to help you with that as well. We have helped 3 customers in the last few months. We've helped 3 customers save over $170 a month each. And so that's something that hey, saving money is great. Well, today we're going to go over how to watch the women's college World Series softball championship games and all the other games that are coming up. They are in the playoffs, and so we're going to talk about this next week. We'll go over how to watch the men's college baseball tournament, and we'll go over that on this show next week. So you'll want to tune in for that. So we want to welcome you back, and if you're trying to figure out how to watch women's college softball in 2026, well, whether that's the regular season or the NCAA tournament or the Women's College World Series, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to break down every channel that airs the games, every device you can watch on, and every service that gives you access. And by the end, you'll know exactly what you need to catch every pitch this season. So we're going to get into it right now. So first, we want to talk about where the games are. So ESPN is going to be really big in watching these games. So ESPN is the main home for college softball. It's the biggest games, including the Women's College World Series, air on ESPN. There's also ESPN2. A lot of regular season games and tournament games overflow to ESPN2, and the NCAA tournament selection show also airs on ESPN2. There's also ESPNU. Conference games and some tournament games land on this channel as well. And then there's ABC. ABC is a free broadcast TV channel, and some games, including select Women's College World Series matchups, air on ABC, which is available through a local over-the-air channel through an antenna. There's also ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus is the ESPN standalone streaming service, and it carries a large number of college softball games, and really you're going to be able to watch the games for the tournament on ESPN, their streaming package. There's also the SEC network. That does air some games throughout the regular season, also some conference games. There's the ACC network. You also have some of those Big Ten network. And, when you get into college sports, especially some of the smaller sports or some of the sports that aren't quite as well known, some of these regional or some of the networks that are geared specifically to a specific division of college baseball or college football, or really it's all the college sports. And so they're going to show, they're going to show more probably football and baseball, but they're going to also show softball. They're going to show volleyball. They're going to show some of the basketball. They're going to show some of the other sports as well. So, so when you're talking about watching this, we're going to talk about how you can watch these, what devices you can watch them on. And really, there's a lot of options. So on a computer, you can actually watch through the ESPN app or ESPN.com right on a web browser. So you can open up Google Chrome, you can open up Edge, you can open up Firefox. You can open up whatever browser you like to use or want to use, Safari, and just go to ESPN.com. So if you have an eligible cable, satellite, or streaming subscription, you can actually log in with your provider and you'll be able to watch those channels. Now, if you don't, you can subscribe directly to ESPN. And if we have time, we'll actually show that. I'll get the Roku up here, and we'll actually go over that. How to actually watch that. So you can also subscribe to services. I call these cable TV streaming substitute packages, and these are services through like Hulu plus Live TV, Fubo, YouTube TV, Sling TV, DirecTV Stream. They all have web browsing access as well. If you're on a smartphone or a tablet, every major streaming service has a mobile app, and you can actually install that and on your smartphone or your tablet. And then again, you just need access to that. You need a username and a password to be able to access it on your Android or iPhone, iPad, or Android phone or tablet. You can also watch on a TV using an antenna to catch the games that are on ABC. The antennas can cost you anywhere from $20 to $60, maybe a little bit more. If you get an outdoor antenna on a 20-foot pole, you'll have the best reception. I know some of you live in areas where you can't do that. And so having an indoor antenna, maybe on a window that faces toward the tower, would get you good reception. And I've mentioned this a few times in the last month. We actually have one customer that lives in the southern part of Port St. Lucie on the east. Well, he's on the west of US 1, but he's on the southern part of Port St. Lucie, real close to Jensen even. He actually does have a window. His TV is next to a window that faces the south, and he used an indoor antenna that didn't cost him very much. He was able to plug it in to his television and able to pick up ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC, all, and he had other channels as well, the CW, Ion, TBN, other channels, Home Shopping Network, that he was able to get all from just an indoor antenna. So it is possible if you're close enough to the towers and you have a window that's facing the towers, you'll get better reception through that. If that antenna is right in the window. We have had some customers, I've talked to some people that have used an outdoor antenna inside their house, just pointed through a window. Of course, if it's not pointed through a window, you're going to be going through some construction material. You won't get as good a reception, but you can pick up a lot of content for free. So, whatever's on ABC, you'll be able to get that. And again, you'll be able to use this for other content as well, not just softball. So you also have Roku devices, also Amazon Fire TV, Google TV, Apple TV. These are all devices that some TVs actually come with some of these operating systems. Roku's the number one operating system for televisions out there, but there is also Amazon Fire TV, Google TV, Apple TV. LG has their own operating system. Samsung has their own, and those TVs, LG and Samsung, they're smarter than they used to be. They will allow you to install various apps, including the ESPN app, and so you can actually install those and you can watch them there. If your TV isn't quite that smart, or maybe it's not easy enough for you to use, maybe you can't install the apps that you want to install, you can actually get a Roku device or a Amazon Fire TV device, a Google TV device, Chromecast, or a Apple TV device, plug it into an HDMI port. You'll have to change the input on your TV to the appropriate HDMI port, and then you'll be able to watch that. So how do you get access to these? So we're going to go over how to get access to these. Again, the ABC games are available for free if you have an antenna and you're close enough to the tower to be able to pick up that channel. So you won't be able to get the games that are on ESPN, ESPN2, or ESPNU, or any other channels out there. You can also subscribe to ESPN Unlimited. That's what they call the new version now. It's ESPN Unlimited. And it is more expensive than it was last year, but it does include more as well. And they have, my dad was actually watching some of the games last night. When I say some of the games, he was watching on one screen. He had 3 different games going on one of the ESPN. So they were showing some key moments of one game and another key moments of another game, and so you could actually follow along. The audio was only from one game, but so you can actually do that. You also can, again, subscribe to a cable TV streaming substitute package like Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, Sling TV, and DirecTV Stream. So what I'll do here, let me switch over on the live stream, and I just realized my camera for that segment wasn't on. Sometimes I miss things, but anyway, we'll get the Roku up here. And with Roku, if you don't already have ESPN, you can get ESPN. So we're going to go into ESPN. ESPN is one, and if we had YouTube TV, Sling has a free version, but you're not going to get ESPN on the free version, but there's a lot of content that is available. In fact, a lot of content that is available for free, but you're not going to get really probably the college baseball or college softball tournaments for free. You're going to have to pay something, but you could subscribe directly to ESPN. There is some content in the app that is completely free, and so we could actually go over and search even. We can go over and search for softball and see what comes up. And so, it's going to require a subscription to do so. And you do see actual games are popping up here, college softball. And if we click on, in fact, this is a re-air here. And the one below it, the Gators versus Georgia Tech, is a live game going on right now. You can browse the plans. You can sign up with any of this. If you're interested in, or you need a little bit of help getting this set up, you need a faster PC. Give us a call, 772-878-5978. Again, we can most likely save you money. Visit our website as well, afasterpc.com. You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, This is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. The one thing we hate to hear after someone's hard drive dies is, "I was just about to make a backup." Just about is not good enough. At a faster PC, we can recover data from failing hard drives, but not all the time. And we can't recover your data if it's stolen or destroyed by fire, unless you have a backup. We can't recover your data if it's encrypted with ransomware unless you have a backup. A faster PC can't protect your data from loss by hard drive failure, fire, theft, sabotage, and ransomware. Don't wait until it's too late.
You need a faster PC.
When your data is important,
You need a faster PC.
A faster PC is located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie, next to Dollar General.
and on the web at
www.afastpc.com.
that's www.afasterpc.com. When you can't lose your data,
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
give us a call today at 772-878-5978. Not feeling the love from your current IT company? Keeping your business running shouldn't depend on you chasing an IT guy who's ghosting you. You deserve better. Get a free network risk assessment on us. If you're dealing with slow systems, constant hiccups, get a free network risk assessment today. We'll take a loving, long look at your environment and identify security vulnerabilities, backup failures, outdated configurations, performance bottlenecks, compliance risks, and cloud or remote work gaps. Schedule your call today by giving us a call at 772-878-5978. Again, that's 772-878-5978. Or visit us on the web at
www.afastpc.com/radio
offer. That's afasterpc.com/radio offer. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to A Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for A Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop, we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. Yes, you do. What if I told you that professional hackers just earned over $900,000 in just 2 days by breaking into fully up-to-date Windows version 11, Microsoft Edge, and Microsoft Exchange? And these same systems are sitting in your home or business right now. So, welcome back. You're listening to a Faster PC Live technical support. This is the segment where we go over the biggest, most critical cybersecurity threats of the week. So I'm glad you're here because this week's cybersecurity news is one of the most packed that we've covered. And we do have someone on hold. So what we'll do in this segment, we'll go to Susan. If we don't get all the way done with the cybersecurity threat rundown, we'll extend the show out and just keep on rolling. We can't do that on WPSL, but we can do that on our website. You can, on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, you can get the links to both of those. If you're listening on the radio, just know that there's a good chance that when the show ends on WPSL, we'll actually continue if I don't get all of the cybersecurity threat rundown in. And so you can get the links to all of those on our website, afasterpc.com. Click on the red button at the very top in the center that says Live Technical Support. And on the right-hand side, there's links to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And so we're going to Susan right now. Welcome to a Faster PC Live Technical Support, Susan. How can we help you today?
Hi, thanks for taking my question.
You're welcome.
I have an ex-partner that seems to be getting into my MacBook Pro.
Okay.
The reason I believe that is because I work on files and was even doing a backup onto a hard drive. But then I would go on to my computer and the recent files that would pull up were not files that I were working on. Things that were interested for him. And it kept happening. So I would take screenshots to see what was being accessed. I don't really know what to do about it.
Yeah. So what I would suggest you do in this case, and you're not the only one that has these types of concerns and is having this type of experience, and certainly there's always the possibility, maybe a very real possibility, that your former partner is actually accessing this data purposely and doing something maliciously. But it's also possible that it could be innocent because that your former partner may be using the same login information that you are using. On a Windows PC, and I know you have a Mac, but I'm just going to explain just real quick for Windows and also for Mac. So on Windows PCs, Microsoft uses what's called OneDrive quite often to sync up certain files and settings. And on a Mac, Apple has their own account and their iCloud. And if two devices are connected with the same account, then you can have you can have it on Windows, you can have it on Mac. We've even seen it where, we had one customer not too long ago on a Windows PC called us up because his files were showing up on his wife's computer. He and his wife are still together. They have a good relationship, but his files were showing up on her computer and vice versa, and it was because they were using the same OneDrive account. So what you want to do is
Yeah, I'm not doing that. And I bought this computer once the relationship had ended.
Okay.
Marriage had ended.
Okay.
But I noticed when the kids came home from college, they were still on the family phone plan.
Yes.
And once they logged into my router, this thing started to happen.
Okay.
So then we got rid of the router. Xfinity would switch out my router.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a domestic violence report against this ex-spouse.
Wow.
Now, exactly. He's super brilliant. I mean, he has put computers together and flipped out hard drives and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
and he probably would know every code. But this is a serious issue because there's significant access happening. I went out to the Apple store and they seemed busy,
right,
and unwilling to show me. I know that there's a terminal screen that comes up.
Okay.
And I really would like to get this information to pass it on to the police. if that
Sure.
is needed.
Sure. So what I would suggest is that you go to your Apple ID and you want to change your password to the Apple ID and change it to something you've never used before, something that's complex, something that's unique. It's a little bit tricky sometimes for people to come up with unique, complex usernames and passwords, but that is what I would recommend. We do have a video out you can search on our YouTube channel that actually shows, if you want to do this free, how you can actually create a password protected spreadsheet. We're using Microsoft Excel, but I think we also showed it in LibreOffice, which is a free software. There's basically a calculation that you can do in one of the cells that will create unique complex passwords. Create a unique complex password that, if you're not using a password utility, you're going to have to do something that you can remember, or something that maybe write it down. Some people have a book, but we recommend either a password manager, or actually using a password protected spreadsheet. And again, we have a video that shows how you can actually create a formula that will create unique complex passwords. So go ahead and look at that, and I would create a new complex password, and then look at the devices that are logged into your account. And any that you don't recognize, just log them out. And even if it's one of your devices, or maybe you're not sure whether it's your device or his device, log it out, because you know the password. You can log your own devices back in to your account. Set up multi-factor authentication also, that will help protect the account. And so those are some of the things that you can do.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
How can I get verification of access going into the computer that I can pass on to the police?
Yeah, so your screenshots will help. And one of the things when you're dealing with the police, they do have special divisions that do work with this type of stuff, but I don't know that they're quite as technical as a technician would be. So they're going to have some limitations, but you can show them the screenshots that'll show them some results of, hey, this file wasn't there, and then it was there, and it's not one of my files, it's one of his files. But getting into changing the username or changing the password, at least not the username, but change the password and set up MFA, make sure the password's strong, and then log out any other devices that are logged in, even your own devices. That way you can just log in yourself and on your own devices, and you're sure that you're the only one that has access to that at that point. Most likely there's an issue where he has access to your account. And if he's using the same account on his devices, then you would see some intermingling of files.
There's no access coming in, like there's no steering. But why I kind of really found out was I was backing up the entire computer onto like a passport, a 2T passport.
Right.
So that took multiple days. But then as I was working on specific files, I saw that files that were very interesting to him,
right,
up as recent, which had not been touched in weeks.
Right. Yeah. So most likely you're using the same Apple ID that he's using, and changing the password and logging devices out of the account will help stop that from happening. And then setting up again, the strong password, but then actually enabling MFA as well, which stands for multi-factor authentication. So you need a username and a password, plus you need either a code, or your phone pops up a message asking you if you're trying to log in, and you answer yes. And so, and you never answer yes if you're not actually doing that.
Said, back everything up and then wipe your computer out to reset everything.
You can do that also, because it's possible there's some software on there. Yes. if he had access to the computer, it's possible he installed some software that gives him access to the system itself as well. Yeah.
That could be possible.
Yeah. So,
So if
so
I change my Apple ID,
mhm.
I will still be able to have some technical person, like maybe verify or print out the unauthorized access.
Yeah, well, again, you're going to want to capture that information before you. I mean, you can change the Apple ID or Apple ID password. You're probably not going to change the ID. I mean, you could, but you really don't need to. Just change the password, log out any device that you're not sure about. Even if it's your own device, you can log back in to that device, and then your screenshots will help with verification. So that's one thing that'll help. But the big thing I think is making sure that he can't access your system.
I agree, and this is really great because I was afraid to change the Apple ID until I had it checked,
Right.
so I could report it.
Right.
But changing my Apple ID, I'll still have that information.
Yes.
So maybe I agree with you that the police do not have expertise in doing this,
Right.
specifically with the Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to make sure that I have some kind of report that is printed and it can be verified.
Yeah, well, go to the police and show them what you have. But I would change the password and log devices out. Even prior to that, just to make sure that he doesn't have access to any of your devices and any of your data. You need to protect your data.
Computer?
Yes.
Would you wipe the system after?
Yeah, well, that would be the safest. But begin backing up your data first. Make sure you have all of your data first, and then yes, you could do a clean, wipe the system, format the drive, do a clean install of the Mac iOS or the Mac OS, and then it's getting your data back onto the system. If you do need help with any of that, we can help you with that. So you can give us a call 772-878-5978 or visit our website as well, and we can help you out with any of that if you need help with it.
That is awesome.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the call, and I wish you the best of success in not only documenting this, but also making sure that your data is secure. We're about to end the show. We are going to be going over the cyber threat rundown after the show's over on our YouTube channel. We're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of this show, want to listen to or watch it again, or want to be an influencer and share it with your friends, head over to our website at fasterpc.com. In the very top of the page, right in the middle, you'll see a red button that says Live Technical Support. Click on that button. On the left-hand side, you'll see various ways that you can schedule a Faster PC technician for remote, in-shop, or on-site support. On the right-hand side, you'll see various ways that you can listen to or watch a Faster PC live technical support, including our live streams on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, where you'll not only be able to hear the show, but also see it as well. We also have links to our YouTube videos page, where you can watch segments of our show, and our YouTube Shorts page, where you can watch little snippets of a Faster PC live technical support. And we have a link where you can actually submit questions and topics for us to cover in a future show or video, including what you may want to watch without cable TV. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning here on WPSL at 10 a.m. You can hear other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, and our church's YouTube channel, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. If you have computer technical, streaming, or cybersecurity problems,
You need a faster PC.
visit
www.fastpc.com.
That's afasterpc.com, or call a Faster PC today at 772-878-5978. And remember, when you have or want to prevent computer, technical, streaming, or cybersecurity problems,
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
prior to Jesus' ministry, he was filled with the Holy Spirit. After he fasted and prayed 40 days and nights, Jesus left his temptation filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. The Apostle Peter said that the gift of the Holy Spirit is available to those he spoke to, their children, and all who were far off. This means that you too can cry out to God to be saved and ask him to fill you with his Holy Spirit. Cry out to him today.
WPSL Port St. Lucie.
All right,
Voting
so I
won't
am actually
budge.
going
I'm
to
Pam
be,
Puso,
let me
Fox News. The
disconnect
Supreme Court has
the
sunk plans by
Zoom
Virginia
meeting.
Democrats.
Okay, so I just disconnected the Zoom meeting so that we don't have the studio feeding in with their news. And we have two things that we're going to be going over as just a continuation, really a bonus segment here of a Faster PC Live Technical Support. We'll go over the cyber threat rundown. But before we do have a question that came in on Facebook, and I missed this earlier. And, well, I don't know. Let me see. Okay, this came in 23 minutes ago. So, I was in the midst of the college softball tournament. But anyway, I want to go over this question. This is from David. He's coming from Facebook. He says, Xfinity replaced my TV boxes with Wi-Fi connection versus the older cable. They gave me a Xfinity modem / router. The signal strength caused buffering loss or signal on the far side of the house. I connected Wi-Fi to my Orbi router, which has also 3 satellites, so a strong signal is working fine. Can I run all my Xfinity TV boxes from my Wi-Fi and return the Xfinity equipment? So I'm not sure exactly what equipment you're asking whether you can return. With Xfinity, you do need a modem to connect to the internet. You're coming from that modem into your Orbi system, which is then you're using that Orbi system for Wi-Fi, and you definitely can connect the TV boxes to the Orbi network so that you can actually go out and make sure that those are working properly, and you'll have strong enough signal strength. So I'll explain for those that are actually listening on, or excuse me, for those that are listening or watching the show that may not know what an Orbi is. So an Orbi is a mesh wireless system. So you have a main unit that receives the internet into it and then broadcasts that out to other computers. But there's also satellite Orbis that actually can connect to that main Orbi or to another satellite Orbi, and they actually can receive their connection to the network from each other or from the main system. So for instance, if you could kind of daisy chain them, or whichever one is the strongest, that's where the signal will come from. And devices themselves can actually connect this way as well. They'll be able to actually connect to the strongest signal. And if you're moving throughout the house, you might connect to one Orbi and then you'll go to the next one as you move throughout the house. So this is called a mesh system. And Orbi is not the only ones of these that are available. Really, all the manufacturers have them. There's Ubiquiti, there's TP-Link, there's Orbi, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Orbi is a part of Netgear, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, there's a lot of providers that provide this type of service. And so definitely you can connect the Xfinity boxes to the Orbi. Now, you will still need some modem to get the internet because the Orbis aren't a modem, they're just a router. And so you will need the modem from Comcast, or you could get your own modem itself as well. One thing I will tell you is that Comcast and Xfinity have made changes in recently, where in the past they actually were charging for the modems, and they may still be charging you for the modem if you haven't if you have an older account, but they do actually have a system now where you can actually go out and you can actually get you can actually sign up if you signed up today. Your plan actually includes the modem, so you don't actually have to go out and buy your own modem anymore. You could go out and do that, but the new technology does require a little bit more higher technology. So Dave is asking, he says he wants to return the Xfinity modem and use his own equipment. So if you have your own modem, Dave, certainly you could use your own modem. I will tell you, though, that Xfinity has made some changes, and they are making changes in certain areas where new modem technology is required to get the maximum performance. So if you're out there and you're using an older modem, you're going to get the same speed that you've always gotten, but the big difference is the upload speed. So they have some new modems, and they don't have this service available in all areas, but really for Comcast, whether you've had, let's say, a 100 megabit service or a 300 megabit service or 500 megabit service or a gigabit service, your upload has been between 20 and 40 megabits. So the upload speed has been slow, and that's still the way it is in most areas, but they are upgrading their technology because they're trying to compete with AT&T and other providers that are providing fiber where you can get gigabit up and down. And AT&T is not the only one. There's Wire 3. There's T-Mobile is actually installing fiber in certain neighborhoods and areas in Port St. Lucie. So you have these providers that are delivering gigabit service up and down really for less money than Comcast is providing gigabit service with 40 megabits up. And so Comcast is working to resolve that, but that resolution requires a very advanced modem. And those modems, if you were to go out and buy one, would cost you today, I'm sure in a year they might cost less, but right now they're very pricey. When I'm talking about very pricey, I'm talking like $300 to $400 range for one of these modems. And so the Xfinity modem, if they are charging you a rental fee for that, negotiate a new price, because I can tell you that you can call them up. Go to their website first. We've shown how to do this. In fact, let me just switch over real quick. I'll switch over to a full screen, and let me go ahead and I will launch let me launch a new window. So what we want to do is just go to Xfinity Internet deals. So we just want to do a Google search for Xfinity Internet deals. This will bring us to xfinity.com, learn deals internet. So you actually have learn/deals/internet. And what you can do is you can actually plug in your address. And you see here they're offering 300 megabit service, Wi-Fi for work and play from $40 a month. For 1 year. They also, do have plans where you can lock in the price for 5 years as well. That you can get a gig Wi-Fi built for streaming for $60 a month, but that's just for 1 year. And price goes way up after that. Let me tell you that. But you can lock this price in. We had one customer lock this 300 megabit price in for 5 years, and that includes their modem that's capable of producing the upload speeds that are faster if they have upgraded the network in your area. So you see you can lock it in for 5 years for $45 a month. Now that may not include the taxes, but it is going to include the modem. So if you're actually paying for a modem rental from Xfinity, give them a call. We did have another customer that actually, he had a modem, he had telephone, and he had actually a cable TV subscription. And we helped him cut the cord and go to streaming and a TV antenna, and he cut out the telephone, and he got this deal here, this 300 megabit deal. They lowered the price for him to $55 a month. Now, they said, we're not going to do $45 a month because you're an existing customer. Another trick that you can do, I did talk to him about it. He wasn't really keen on doing that. He was willing to pay the extra $10 a month rather than doing this, but he could have had his wife sign up for Xfinity for $45 a month. And then once it was installed and everything, he could cancel his deal, his contract, or his subscription, and he wasn't under contract, but he could cancel his subscription, and they could get it for $45 a month. But he really didn't want to go through the hassle of that. It was worth it to him to just pay the extra $10 a month. But I can tell you that they will lower the price. I really was surprised that they did it, because we have seen a lot of times, I've even seen myself where I've called them up and they've said, no, we're not going to lower the price. We're just going to, you're stuck with the price. So you know what I did? I signed up my wife signed up for the service, and I canceled my service. And then they wanted to lower the price all of a sudden after that. Well, we had the lower price, so it wasn't a big deal. But that's what I would suggest. Negotiate with them if they're charging you extra, and hopefully you can get them to lower the price. If not, and you have someone else in the house, maybe a spouse, that can actually sign up for the service, have them sign up. You do have to say, they'll ask you, do you want a second service, or, do you already live here? Are you moving there? Sometimes you have to say that you're moving there, or you might say that you want additional service. Go ahead and get it set up. They'll send you the modem, and you just plug it in and get it activated, and then cancel the other service. Take them their equipment back, and of course, you're dealing with TV also. The new service would have to sign up for the TV as well, or you can cut the cord and save even more money that way. So hopefully that will help you out, Dave. And if you have any questions with that or need any help with that, you can give us a call, 772-878-5978, 772-878-5978. So now we're getting to the cyber threat rundown, and this is really big this week. So what if I told you that professional hackers just earned over $900,000 in just 2 days by breaking into fully up-to-date versions of Windows 11, Microsoft Edge, and Microsoft Exchange? And those same systems are sitting in your home or business right now. So this is a Faster PC Live Technical Support. I'm your host, Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Live Technical Support. And I'm glad you're here, because this week's cybersecurity news is one of the most packed we've covered. And some of it hits very close to home or your business, whether you run a small business, own a website, run a website, or just use your Windows PC every day. We've got hackers using Microsoft Teams to hijack corporate networks in under 5 minutes. We've got your car company secretly selling your driving data. We've got malware pretending to be a free software download, and a 0-day exploit that can bypass the lock on your encrypted drive using nothing but a USB stick. Stick around because I promise the story at the end of this list is one that every Mac user and every software developer needs to hear. But first, let's start with something that should matter to every business owner running a website. If you run a small business website built on WordPress, and roughly 43% of all websites on the internet are built on WordPress, pay close attention to the next section because hackers are actively targeting 3 particular plugins right now. A critical vulnerability in the Funnel Builder plugin for WordPress is being actively exploited to inject malicious JavaScript into WooCommerce checkout pages. The flaw can be leveraged without authentication and affects all versions of the plugin before version 3.15.0.3. The plugin is active on more than 40,000 websites. What does that mean in plain English? Hackers are sneaking in through a back door in your checkout page and silently stealing your customers' credit card numbers as they type them in. And your customers think they're buying from you. The criminals are watching over their shoulder. The fix has been released. If you use Funnel Builder, update to version 3.15.0.3 or newer immediately. 2 vulnerabilities in the Avante Builder plugin for WordPress. With an estimated 1 million active installs, allow hackers to read arbitrary files and extract sensitive information from the database. One flaw can be exploited without any authentication, and it can extract sensitive data, including password hashes. The fully patched version 3.15.3 was released May 12th. Millions of websites, that's not a million websites, that's not a small risk. Update to Avada Builder to version 3.15.3 right now. A flaw identified as CVE 2026-8181 was introduced in version 3.4.0 and persists in 3.4.1 of the Burst Statistics plugin, which is installed on approximately 200,000 WordPress sites. Hackers are actively exploiting this to bypass your login protection entirely. If you use any of these 3 plugins, update them today. And if you're not sure who's managing your website security, that's something the team here at A Faster PC can help you with. We serve businesses across Florida's Treasure Coast, Space Coast, and South Florida, and keeping your website and business system protected is exactly what we do. So you can reach us on the web at fasterpc.com or give us a call 772-878-5978. Now let's talk about Microsoft because there's a lot happening right now, both good news and some serious warnings as well. Here's a number that should stop you cold. On the first day of Pawn to Own Berlin 2026, security researchers collected $523,000 in cash awards after exploiting 24 unique 0 days. One researcher chained 4 logic bugs together to escape the Microsoft Edge sandbox and earned $175,000. Windows 11 was also hacked 3 separate times by 3 independent researchers. On the second day, competitors collected $385,750 after exploiting 15 unique 0-day vulnerabilities in products including Windows 11, Microsoft Exchange, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux. These are ethical hackers demonstrating flaws under controlled conditions. The real-world criminals are watching every one of these disclosures for their own playbook. Microsoft now has 90 days to patch every flaw demonstrated or before the information is released publicly. The good news, Microsoft's May 2026 patches fixed 138 flaws with with no 0 days actively exploited, but 2 that are very severe. The first such month in nearly 2 years. The update included 17 critical severity vulnerabilities. Actually, even included 30 critical severity vulnerabilities, and there's 14 of which are remote code execution flaws. Among those are 3 vulnerabilities rated at the maximum severity score of 9.8 or higher. One in NetLogin, and one in Windows DNS Client, and one in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Here's the translation. No one is currently breaking in through these specific doors, but the doors are wide open and the locks were just shipped. So you want to run Windows updates today. If you're running Windows 10, Microsoft released the Windows 10 KB 5087544 extended security update. And by the way, you have to have been paying Microsoft to get those security updates. Otherwise, you need to update to Windows 11. And we helped 2 customers this past week update to Windows 11 from Windows 10. And we can help you as well. So this you want to make sure you're getting those patches installed. But remember, extended support for Windows 10 isn't forever. It only lasts for a year, I believe, and you do have to pay for that. So why don't you just update to Windows 11? And we can do that even on a lot of computers that Microsoft is saying, hey, we can't support this. This next one is alarming. A researcher released a 0-day exploit that can bypass Windows BitLocker, the encryption system Microsoft says protects your files if your laptop is stolen. The researcher described it as one of the most insane discoveries I've ever found, and provided files that have to be loaded onto a USB drive. If the attacker completes the key sequence correctly, they are granted unrestricted shell access to a BitLocker protected machine. It requires physical access to the device, but that means a stolen laptop is no longer just a hardware replacement problem. It also becomes a data breach. Here's a quick win. Microsoft is updating the Edge browser to ensure it no longer loads saved passwords into process memory in clear text at startup. If you use Edge and save passwords in it, keep it updated. So coming up, hackers are using Microsoft Teams to get inside your company in 5 minutes flat, and a supply chain attack has hit OpenAI itself. Don't go anywhere. This one matters for anyone using Microsoft Teams, which most do. Initial access broker Kong Tuk has moved to Microsoft Teams for social engineering attacks, taking as little as 5 minutes to gain persistent access to corporate networks. The threat actor tricks users into pasting a PowerShell command that ultimately delivers the Modelo RAT, which is remote access tool malware. The campaign has been active since at least April 2026, with Kong Tuk rotating through 5 Microsoft 365 tenants to evade blocking. The attacker pretends to be your IT help desk in a Teams chat. They ask you to paste a command into your computer. In 5 minutes, they own your network. The rule here is simple. Your real IT team will never ask you to paste a command into your computer over Teams chat. if that happens, hang up, end the chat, and call your IT provider directly. If you need a trusted IT provider that can help you with this, that's where a faster PC comes in. You can give us a call before an incident. You can call us after the incident, but we would prefer that you give us a call before the incident so we can prevent it from happening in the first place. So Mac users, you're not immune either. Attackers are running a malvertising campaign that uses Google Ads and legitimate shared chats on Claude AI to spread Mac OS info stealer malware. Users search for Claude Mac download may see sponsored Google results that appears to lead to Claude.ai, but instead leads to fake installation guides that instruct users to open terminal and paste a command that silently downloads malware. The lesson: never run a command you found in a random chat or website, and be very suspicious of any Google ad, even ones that look completely legitimate. Even the companies building AI tools aren't safe. Two employee devices at OpenAI were compromised in a sweeping supply chain attack targeting 10 stack NPM. But OpenAI confirmed no user data, production systems, or intellectual properties were affected. Attackers launched a campaign dubbed Mini Shy Hulud, orchestrated by the Team PCP extortion gang, injecting malicious code into Tan Stack, a widely used open source JavaScript library, by exploiting weaknesses in the project's GitHub action workflows. Because the compromised repositories included Mac OS code signing certificates, all Mac OS users must update their Apple or their OpenAI apps before June 12, 2026. After that date, Apple security protections will block any app still signed with the old certificate from launching. Windows and iOS users do not need to take any action. If you use ChatGPT on a Mac, update your apps now. There's more. Separately, criminals created a fake OpenAI repository on the Hugging Face AI platform to distribute malware disguised as legitimate AI tools. If you or someone at your business is downloading AI tools from the internet, be extremely cautious about where you download those from. As part of the same broader Team PCP campaign, attackers claimed to have compromised more than 450 repositories associated with Mistral AI. A hacking group is now advertising that stolen source code for sale, a sign of just how aggressive these actors have become against the AI industry. This one isn't a hacking story, it's a corporate privacy story, and it affects anyone who drove a GM vehicle in the last year. California Attorney General Rob Bonta announced a $12.75 million settlement with General Motors over allegations that the company violated the California Consumer Privacy Act, illegally collecting and selling Californians' driving and location data to data brokers Verisk Analytics and LexisNexis Risk Solutions. Between 2020 and 2024, GM failed to properly notify consumers or obtain their consent and made approximately $20 million from those data sales nationwide. Well, why are they only paying 12.75 million if they made 20 million? That's something a good question to ask. The settlement requires GM to stop selling driver data to consumers reporting agencies for 5 years. Your car was watching you and selling what it saw. That is exactly why digital privacy matters. And it's not just hackers you need to worry about. It's the companies you trust every day. Western Pharmaceutical Services confirmed that hackers stole data and encrypted their manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, retail. If your business has a computer connected to the internet, you may be a target. Electronics giant Foxconn, which manufactures products for Apple, Microsoft, and countless other brands, confirmed a cyber attack in its North American factory operations. These attacks don't just hurt the big companies, they disrupt supply chains that affect small businesses everywhere. Let's end with a few pieces of good news and quick updates. Microsoft fixes faulty driver rollback. Microsoft is introducing a new capability that will allow it to remotely roll back problematic Windows drivers delivered through Windows updates. This is a big deal. Bad driver updates have caused system crashes for years. This should reduce that headache. Dell Support Assist blue screen fix. Dell confirmed that Support Assist software was causing Windows blue screens of death, crashing the system. You imagine that, a support tool that actually causes the system to crash. If you have a Dell computer and have seen crashes, check for a Support Assist update. The encrypted messages app Signal added a new security warning to flag potential social engineering and phishing attacks. If you use Signal, keep updated. Android 17 is expanding protection against banking scams, calls, and privacy tracking. A reminder to keep your Android phone's operating system updated with the newest versions. And if you have a phone that won't update, well, you need to get a new one at this point. Law enforcement arrested the suspected administrator of Dream Market, one of the largest dark web criminal marketplaces. A win for international cybercrime enforcement. European police also shut down a rebooted version of the crime network marketplace and arrested administrators. The good news, the new ones also, but this is good news, but new ones also pop up, and so you want to be very, very cautious about this. So here's the short version. 1, update everything: Windows, WordPress plugins, Edge, your OpenAI apps on Mac right now. 2, don't trust chat request to paste commands, not in Teams, not anywhere. 3, be skeptical of Google Ads or software downloads. Go directly to the official website. 4, know who's watching your systems. A firewall or antivirus aren't enough anymore. You need someone actively monitoring your network. That's exactly what a faster PC does for businesses and home users across Florida's Treasure Coast, Space Coast, and South Florida. From managed services to network monitoring to making sure your systems are patched and protected. We are local experts that you want in your corner before something goes wrong. In fact, we can actually, in many cases, prevent something from going wrong. You want to visit our website of fasterpc.com and give us a call today at 772-878-5978. Don't wait for a breach to give us a call and get joined up with us. I mean, if you do, we can still help you, but it would be better off if we can actually help you ahead of time. So before we go, drop a comment below. Which story shocked you the most this week? Was it the Teams attack, the BitLocker bypass, GM selling your driving data? Let me know. I read every comment. I will also reply to those as well. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button. It helps more business owners and everyday computer users find this content before the criminals find them. And subscribe as well so that you don't miss next week's roundup. Remember, when you have or want to prevent cybersecurity problems, you need a faster PC.